Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a nice services section. So this is what we're going to create. As you can see, when I hover over it, it creates this nice effect, and I think it looks pretty cool. So before we start, if you're new to this channel, on this YouTube channel I post new videos almost every single day that will teach you how to become a better web developer so that you can earn more money and improve the quality of your life. If you are interested in that, make sure to click the subscribe button and also the bell notification icon so that you won't miss any new videos that I upload. With that being said, let's get started. So I'm here on my desktop. I have an empty folder called services, and I opened it with my text editor. In my case, I'm using Visual Studio Code. Now I'm going to create a new file called index.html, and the file called style.css, and also a folder called img. And I'm going to grab these two images and I'm going to paste it in the img folder. Now let's start with the index.html. So I'm gonna create a basic structure. I'm gonna change the title to services. I'm gonna link the CSS file, so link style.css, and let's open this file in the browser. So open the index.html. I'm using Google Chrome right now. And now let's start with the content. I'm gonna create a section and give it an ID of services. Inside here I'm gonna create a div with a class of container. Inside the container I'm gonna create another div with a class boxes, and inside boxes another one with a class box, and in here another div with a class top-box, and inside top-box I'm gonna place an image, so use the img tag. And for the source, I'm going to go to the img folder and choose this image. And for the alt, I'm going to say service 1 photo. Now outside after the top box div, create another div called bottom-box. Inside here I'm going to put an h4. I'm going to say service 1. Below the h4 I'm going to place an h5. And I'm going to say subtitle number 1. And below the h5 I'm going to put a paragraph and say lorem 40. Hit tab. Let me change this to toggle word wrap. Okay, so now it fits on the screen. And below the paragraph I'm going to place an a tag with a class of btn. And inside here I'm gonna say contact us. So that should be it for the box. Now I'm gonna copy this whole div with a class of box, and I'm gonna paste it right below the first one. I'm gonna change this image, so choose the other one, service 2 photo, service 2, subtitle number 2, and we'll leave the paragraph and the button like they are. So that is it for the markup. Let's take a look. So as you can see, it doesn't look too good, but now we're gonna jump to the style.css and style it nicely. So let's get to it. Going to the style.css, I'm gonna place a comment and say general styling. And I'm gonna select everything with the asterisk and remove the margin and the padding. So margin 0, padding 0, and set the box sizing property to border box. For the HTML, I'm gonna change the font size to 62.5%, and for the body, font family, I'm gonna say sans. Let's choose Arial Helvetica Sans Serif. I'm gonna set the line height to 1.5, and set overflow X to hidden, and let's give it a background of 333. Okay, as you can see, it changed. And now let's put a comment, utility classes, and inside here I'm gonna style the container, so container, and give it a max width of 1100 pixels, margin set it to auto, and padding 0 on top and bottom, 3 rem on left and right. And if I go to my browser, and as you can see, it is constrained within this 1100 pixels container. So if I make it smaller, and now as you can see, once it hits that 1100 pixels mark, it stays there within the container. Good. Now let's move on to the services. Excuse me. So services, and select the services section, so ID services, and set the display flex, align items center, and justify content center. Let's check it. Okay, not much has changed. Let's move on to the boxes. So services dot boxes, and I'm gonna say display flex, justify content space between, and align items center. Okay, as you can see, now they're side by side. Let's move on to styling the actual boxes. So services dot boxes dot box, and inside here I'm gonna say display flex direction set it to column, background FFF, margin 0 on top and bottom, 5 rem left and right, text align, let's align it to the center, and border radius, let's give it radius, let's give it 15 pixels, and flex 1. Okay, it looks better now. So make sure all these are center. So center, center, boxes, center, center, and right here flex direction column. And right now it looks something like this. And now we should move on to style the top box and the bottom box. So I'm gonna say services boxes box bottom box, and I'm gonna say position relative, and padding 3 rem all around. Okay, and now I'm gonna style the H4 and H5 and the paragraph. So let's say services boxes box bottom box H4. I'm gonna say font size 3 rem, font weight 500, and color 5 FC 7 C8. Okay, and for the H5 I'm gonna copy this, change this to H5. I'm gonna say font size excuse me 2.4 rem, font weight 400, color 333, and margin bottom to rem, to rem. And now for the P, I'm gonna paste this again and change this to P. And I'm gonna say font size 1.5 rem, font weight 500, color 333, line height 2, and margin bottom 3.5 rem. And let's style the button as well, the link, so .btn. And I'm gonna say display, I'm gonna set it to inline block, color that 5FC7C8, border 1 pixel solid and the same color, border radius, I'm gonna set it to 10 pixels, padding 1 rem top and bottom, 3 rem left and right, text decoration none, and font size 1.8 rem. Let's see. Okay, it's starting to look a little bit nicer. Now let's deal with the images. Okay, so let's say services. Sorry about this. Services.boxes.box.top-box img, and say width 100%, height 100%, border top left radius 15 pixels, and copy this and change it to top right radius 15 pixels. Okay, now I'm gonna say services.boxes.box.top-box. I'm gonna set the height to 200 pixels. Okay, now it looks better. Now I'm gonna use the pseudo selector before, so services.boxes.box.bottom box before. Now we're gonna work on that overlay. So when I'm using before, I'm gonna say content. I need to use content, but I'm gonna leave it empty. So let's set the position to absolute, top 0, left 0, width 100%, height 100%, transform scale 0, transform origin top, and transition transform 0.5 seconds. And let's give the background that color 5FC7C8, and let's set the Z index to 0, and let's say border bottom left radius 15 pixels, and border bottom right radius 15 pixels. So we're not gonna see anything yet because we need to add the hover effect. So I'm gonna say services dot box dot boxes first, dot box column hover, and now bottom box before, and I'm gonna say transform scale 1, transform origin, set it to bottom, and transition transform 0.5 seconds. Let's see. As you can see, it works nicely, but now we gotta change the text too because you can't see it anymore. So let's say services dot boxes dot box column hover dot bottom box and I'm gonna say H4, and I'm gonna copy this 3 more times, so 1, 2, 3, and change this to H5, to P, and to .btn, and set the position to relative, Z index 1, color FFF, and transition color 1 second. And let's see. Okay, but we need to also change this border, so I'm gonna say services.boxes.box column hover .bottom box.btn, and say border 1 pixel solid FFF, and transition color 1 second, and border 1 second, and that should do it. So as you can see, now we got the effect you saw at the beginning. I think it looks really cool, and I think you will be able to use it in some of your projects. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment below if you have any questions, and make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.